beyond what we have projected here on our election tracker.
Okay, Bhupen, I can't tell you that this must be music to the ears of several people who have long positions in the market. Now for the hereafter, what is the sense you are getting? Are the bets, like you last told us, still on Jaitley for finance? Anything that you have picked up in terms of your conversation on and off cam from the BJP top brass?
You know, my phone has been buzzing, Lata. My phone has been buzzing since yesterday, since we put the story out about the kind of candidates who were in consideration for the post of the finance ministry. What is going to happen is that you'll see a slight change in the working of the BJP as well. Okay. Because it's not just the BJP which is coming to par with possible numbers that we have projected on election tracker. It also is a revival of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Now, the RSS chief, Mohan Rao Bhagwat, is a doctor by profession, a trained doctor. An educated person, very well read, most unlike many of his predecessors whose worldview was often considered to be too conservative or old-fashioned. Mr. Bhagwat looks at life very differently. I think that what you are going to see is that there will be greater coordination between Narendra Modi on one hand and Mohan Bhagwat on the other. Now, what I've learned is that on the 17th, which is exactly a day after the results will be declared, there is a meeting which has been called off for all senior RSS leaders here in the capital. The idea is not to try and browbeat the BJP, but the idea is to ensure that the person who is chosen, certainly for two positions, for the finance ministry's position and the external affairs position, these are two ministries where the RSS would like to have its own veto power also being taken into consideration. Now, Arun Jaitley remains the front runner because not only is he the darling of the markets, but his ability to reach out to potential allies, his ability to deal with political adversaries is something that all of us have seen in Parliament over the last 10 years. So he remains candidate number one for the job of the finance minister. But should the RSS think in terms of bringing in someone else? If Mr. Modi himself comes up with 300 seats, and I think that's the point which I must underline here. If Narendra Modi led BJP on its own, not the NDA, if Narendra Modi led BJP on its own is somewhere in the region of 300 seats, 290 to 300 seats, I think Mr. Modi may think in terms of bringing in a technocrat, a bureaucrat, not as a full-fledged cabinet minister, but certainly as someone who he would like to give independent powers to.
What are the names?
Would this mean? Yeah, well, I'm hearing some names at the moment of people who have worked with the Gujarat Chief Minister in Gujarat. It's not as if there is a list which has been prepared. That list will come out, and therefore I don't want to give you the names at this stage. That list will come out once we know where exactly is the BJP tally. If the BJP tally is 220, 230, situation will be different. If the BJP tally is 290, 300, situation will be remarkably different.
Bhupen, what happens to the troika of the super chief ministers, you know, who've been ignored so far? You have Vasundhara Raje, there's Shivraj Chauhan, Raman Singh. Will they be a crucial part of BJP 2.0, or do you think that it will still be the sort of the Delhi bigwigs who come in, Sushma Swaraj, Advani, etc., who will be given pole positions?
Well, we've already seen the manner in which LK Advani and Sushma Swaraj are frankly being dealt with at this point of time. If anything, it's an indicator of things to come. Mr. Modi has often talked about forging a strategic alliance between the PM and the CM. And he believes that the road ahead for India has to be where the chief ministers of different states work in close tandem with the prime minister. Now, that's not something which had happened when Manmohan Singh was the prime minister over these last 5 years, certainly during the UPA's second stint, because we saw all kinds of differences cropped up between chief ministers and the centre. Mr. Modi wants to move beyond that. I think the first change you will see in the BJP scheme of things is that you will see these chief ministers, Raman Singh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Vasundhara Raje, all these individuals will be brought into the parliamentary board of the BJP, which is the highest highest ranking body of the BJP, highest policy making decision body of the BJP. And they will have a crucial role. As far as BJP policy making is concerned, I think the chief ministers of the BJP are going to have a crucial role. Their say is going to matter at the centre as well. And ultimately, Mr. Modi would really like to ensure that he doesn't end up getting himself trapped in that image which he has had in Gujarat, that he's this authoritarian or this autocratic leader who can't take team along.
Okay, I'm still dying to get that technocrat who could be in the finance ministry.
Not full-fledged. He would be no question of a full-fledged minister.
Do you know and you're not telling us, or you don't know at all?
No, there are a couple of names. The only reason why I don't want to give these names out is because, suddenly it will lead to all kinds of speculation.
And then your phone
honest,
will start ringing again non-stop.
There are only 2 to 3 people. There are only 2 to 3 people in the BJP, who are aware of those names. So I don't want to give those names right now. Depends on the numbers, frankly.
You don't want to give your source away, of course. And anyway, let's see whether it is going to be more than 290. But that's a tall ask, isn't it, Bhupen? About the only time 70-80 strike rate has happened is perhaps post Indira Gandhi's death and the 400 plus that Rajiv Gandhi notched up, right?
Well, over the last 30 years, this has been the maximum amount of polling which has taken place in our country, over 66%. There is a strong possibility of the Congress coming up with its worst ever performance. If it, there is a serious possibility. And that's what I was being told yesterday by someone, that what if the Congress was to fall below 55? Do you know what that will lead to? There will not be an official candidate in this parliament to stake claim to the leader of opposition space, because you need to have a certain percentage of the overall number of seats. Now, if Rahul Gandhi's approach is anything to be going by, where Mr. Gandhi, instead of attending the farewell party, which has been thrown in by his own mother for the Prime Minister, decides to take off on a foreign sojourn for God only knows what kind of reasons, it just shows a lack of seriousness of the Congress party, lack of seriousness of Rahul Gandhi. So, if that was to be the case, I suspect that what will happen is that this parliament is going to be a completely one-way process. It will be a one-way road where the main opposition space may not be occupied by the Congress party. It could well be occupied, say, someone like a Mamata Banerjee, who's expected to get up to as many as 30 to 31 seats.
Okay. I just have one last question, Bhupen, before we let you go. The exit poll predictions have had another very interesting takeaways, that all speculations about, a plan B, a plan C have all now been put to an end. Do you get a sense that Narendra Modi and the BJP-led NDA may not need any allies at all, and all this talk about, the rhetoric with Mamata Banerjee, with Jayalalitha, etc., may just end at that, and they may not need any allies to go through?
I put this on Twitter 2 days back, and I said that before we came up with the final numbers, I said very clearly that 2014 now is done with. Irrespective of what the numbers are, and I was saying whether the BJP is at 180 or the BJP is at 280, there is only one Prime Ministerial candidate. And that Prime Ministerial candidate is Narendra Modi. So rest assured, there is no way in 2014 for any other person to be the Prime Minister other than Mr. Modi. It is just a matter of scales. Is the BJP at 220? Is the BJP at 280? 300? All kinds of possibility. What does that mean? It implies that Sharad Pawar's Prime Ministerial dreams over, Mulayam Singh Yadav's Prime Ministerial dreams over, dream of third front remains a dream, Jayalalitha's Prime Ministerial ambitions over. Narendra Modi is the person who's going to have a party tomorrow, not anyone else.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Bhupendra Chaubey, for that. So if the phone calls go, it will be the women leaders who will be calling Modi,
and not the other way around.
The women leaders. In any case, you will get a lot of phone calls, Bhupendra Chaubey. Thank you very much for joining us. Tomorrow, this time, will be a busy hour for you, and I guess we will have the results. You can